Did you know that China, often labeled as one of the least democratic countries in the world, actually holds elections? Yes, you heard that right. But how do these so-called elections actually work? Believe me, it's complicated. Let's start with a big picture view. China essentially runs two different kinds of elections. There's the state election to choose government officials and representatives, and there's an internal Communist Party election within the Chinese Communist Party to select its leadership. In this video, we're focusing on the state elections, not the party's internal ones. According to Article 34 of the Chinese Constitution, all citizens over the age of 18 who haven't had their political rights legally revoked have the right to vote and to stand for election. However, to see how these elections really function, we need a quick crash course on how China's government is structured, which can be simplified into three layers. The first layer is the central government based in Beijing. This includes the State Council and the National People's Congress, NPC, the highest state legislative body. It also includes top CCP leadership bodies, such as the General Secretary and the Politburo. Because of China's political system, these party leadership bodies wield enormous influence over state institutions. The second layer consists of the provincial-level bodies. These are the governments of provinces, autonomous regions, and centrally administered cities, like Beijing, Shanghai, Tianjin, and Chongqing. It also includes leadership of provincial or regional ministries. Finally, the third layer consists of various local governments. These cover sub-provincial level cities, counties, townships, and villages, each with their own local congresses or committees. Now moving on to the elections proper. China's elections are divided into two types: direct elections and indirect elections. Direct elections are elections where ordinary citizens can vote directly for representatives. However, this only happens at the very lowest levels, such as in local people's congresses at the county or township level, or for village committees. Indirect elections, on the other hand, happen at higher levels, like provincial people's congresses and the National People's Congress. Here, representatives are elected not by the general population, but by the level of Congress below them. So in practice, this means most citizens only vote for local representatives, and then those local reps vote for officials at higher levels until you reach the National People's Congress in Beijing. Compared to the direct election system that many of us in the West are familiar with, this indirect election system has its advantages and disadvantages. In terms of advantages, it is considered to be a practical and cost-effective way to elect government leaders, especially when considering China's immense population size. And in theory, having elected officials pick higher-level leaders could mean more knowledgeable voters and hence, more informed voting. However, it also comes with various major disadvantages. Firstly, the indirect nature of higher-level elections makes it highly susceptible to corruption. With a smaller pool of voters at each level, it's often easier for candidates to bribe or pressure the few officials who actually do vote. Second, it also results in limited accountability. Since higher-level representatives are not directly answerable to the public, this reduces ordinary citizens' influence on higher-level policies. What about running for office? Like in most countries, you can't just sign yourself up. You typically need a formal nomination from a political party or a recommendation by a recognized mass organization or the support of at least 10 voters. Independent candidates who lack CCP backing often struggle to get these nominations. And even if they do, they face intense scrutiny in a process sometimes called 3 ups and 3 downs, which means multiple rounds of reviews and shortlisting before anyone's name appears on a final ballot. It's also crucial to note that while the Constitution provides the right to vote and stand for election, the Chinese Communist Party does maintain a degree of control over nominations, the review process, and the overall conduct of elections. Although the level of control can vary by region, the party's organizational power extends from the highest leadership in Beijing down to local-level elections. This centralized oversight helps ensure that the party remains firmly in charge. So, does China hold elections? Yes. Are they what most of the world would consider free and fair? Probably not. And is this system the best fit for China today? That's a matter of debate. But understanding the complex maze of direct and indirect voting and the role of the Communist Party helps explain why China calls itself a democracy, even though many observers around the world would dispute that label. Thanks for watching.